Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for a Tuesday edition of the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates. I am your host, Brady Vini. Hope all of you are having a fantastic Tuesday. Here in Western Pennsylvania, it is hot, but that is the way we like it, and that is what is going on at Steelers training camp. Hot stuff, hot news, and a hot offense, apparently. They having apparently their best practice so far in this training camp, and it couldn't have come at a better time, really, heading into the first preseason game coming up this Saturday night. We will talk about what all happened at Steelers practice here today. Also, they revealed their first depth chart of the season leading into Saturday night's game. Who is lined up where on that depth chart? We will break down and analyze coming up here later on in the program. Also, in the program, we will talk a little bit of some Pittsburgh Pirates baseball. Last night, they seemingly own the San Francisco Giants, winning last night in really exhilarating fashion. You can't say that too often about the Pittsburgh Pirates, that they, are exciting for good reasons. But we will talk about that and any other news that comes along the way. First thing is first, if you are new here to the channel, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, leave a like on this live stream, share this live stream, and leave a comment in the comment section just like this. I can pop those up on the screen at a moment's notice. We actually have a commenter already in the comment, David Weiss. Welcome, David. Here we go indeed. Yes, Steelers training camp rolling along, and the first preseason game coming up here Saturday. Cannot be more excited to sit down and watch a Steeler football game. It has been too long. And just like David, if you want to, in the comment section, get any thoughts, questions, or opinions that you may have there, I can pop those up on the screen and we can interact that way. Like I said, we are going to start today with a training camp update for your Pittsburgh Steelers back out there at St. Vincent College in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. This, their first practice after the day off yesterday. They were also back in pads today, and this, I believe, now marks 5 practices left at St. Vincent College. So if I had to guess, probably one tomorrow, maybe Thursday as well, and then they will leave Friday, or Thursday or Friday, for Jacksonville, go down there, play the game, come back to Latrobe, practice for the first couple of days next week, and then they will call it a camp at St. Vincent. The rest of the training camp, the rest of training camp will be at their facility on the south side. They'll play another preseason game after that. Then it will be time for real football. Looking at what all happened there today, before practice began, we did hear from a couple players. We heard from starting left tackle Broderick Jones. He has had an up and down training camp thus far, according to some reports. He just is happy to get out there on the field on Saturday. I'll take his quote here as a sign that he will be playing Saturday, and that whatever groin injury he's been dealing with will not bug him. He said, quote, just ready to get to it and hit some other guys. So excited to maybe go up against some lesser caliber players than Alex Highsmith, who Highsmith, I think, has gotten Jones quite a bit, at least in one-on-one drills so far this training camp. Also, we heard from TJ Watt out there today, said that he will be starting to take full practices where he is working on one side or another. Throughout training camp thus far, we've seen him bounce around, line up at left outside linebacker, move over to the right side one time or two, even, go into the middle. So Watt's going to move all around, and he's said today, instead of just, changing sides for 1 or 2 reps of practice, he's going to maybe take a full practice here and there at the other side so that when he goes over there, it's not like he's going moving to a new side and going at it cold with little to no practice time there. Also, getting into who practiced here today, no Calvin Austin. It is the third practice, the third day, in a row that Calvin Austin has missed. He has been dealing with a minor injury. He's been banged up a little bit, but did not take part in even the walkthrough with the first team here today, and he missed all of practice today. Going to take that as a sign that you will not see Calvin Austin here coming up on Saturday. Defensive tackle Ezezi Otomemwo was back in action today on the defensive line. Joey Porter Jr., he was out there today in pads. It was a padded practice. Not sure if I mentioned that already or not. But Porter was back out there in pads. I think did the walkthrough, but then I think, was on the sideline, had a real light practice, did remain in pads, but didn't do a whole lot. Jalen Ramsey, he took a day off today, vet day for him. Back off of a vet day, Pat Freiermuth out there. Took the Sunday practice off and the day yesterday off, but back out there in practice. No Corey Trice or Dante Kent today. Trice dealing with a lower body injury that Mike Tomlin said will keep him out longer term. Dante Kent out there again today. Was out again today, I should say. Was still in a walking boot. I saw. No Calvin Anderson. He's out with a longer term injury. Offensive lineman Gareth Warren missed his second practice, and Alex Highsmith, he too was out again today, dealing with a hamstring injury. You hate to see that from Highsmith. I saw something I think last night. Highsmith, he just seemingly has bad luck with these groin injuries in his career. I saw someone point out he's had a groin injury pretty much every single year he's had a groin issue to some extent every single year except for the 2022 season. So, hopefully I hate to see that this is, a trend, but hopefully he can fight through it and that this is minor. I think that this has been a minor thing he's dealt with throughout his career. He's played in, a majority of the games every season, but hopefully this groin won't hamper him and won't, affect his him being able to catch up to speed once real games begin here. A couple other things before the team portions of practice began. Darnell Washington out there, man, lots of good vibes and good reports about him. He is massive, probably as big, if not bigger, than left tackle Broderick Jones. But one thing I think a lot of people are saying is that his mobility has been as good as it has ever been for him in a Steeler uniform. You remember, came in out of the draft dealing with a knee issue. Really throughout his first two seasons with the team, block first tight end. You rarely saw him get targeted or used in the passing game. When he did get the ball, he wouldn't, get too much yak after the fact. But looking at what he's been doing here in training camp, he looks poised for a breakout season, and I sure hope Arthur Smith uses him. A couple other things here before we get into the team details of practice. Cameron Johnston and Cortlis Waitman, more on them coming up here once we get to the depth chart. They were out there booming punts again today, each of them getting 70-yard bombs in that had a hang time of nearly 5 seconds. Impressive stuff there. And the last bit of news coming out of Steelers training camp today, the alumni train keeps on rolling through St. Vincent College. Ryan Clark, former Steelers safety, Super Bowl champion, out there on the field today talking with Mike Tomlin. He's got a nice media career going for him. Wonder if he was there on work or, just going to see a couple old friends, his old coach. One thing Ryan Clark did get out there today was that he stayed, watched practice, said Aaron Rodgers can still really throw the football. He said it on here. Last thing to go for a quarterback is the arm. But Clark, I'm going to cite this quite a bit, and I'm going to take this opinion here with more weight than some others. Ryan Clark saying that Rodgers still has the arm. Flashbacks to the 2010-2011 Super Bowl when Rodgers and the Packers beat the Steelers. So Clark getting a little bit of PTSD from that. But hey, if he still says Aaron's got it with the arm, I'm going to expect big things from the four-time MVP this year. Moving into the team portion of practice, of course, the day began with 7 shots, and the Steelers offense exacting some revenge out there on the field for a majority of practice today. 7 shots went very, very well. Aaron Rodgers in there for the first 3 plays of 7 shots per usual. Hit DK Metcalf on a fade. Metcalf went and got it over Brandon Echols. Rodgers again, this time was scrambling, extending the play, hit Jonnu Smith wide open in the end zone, 2-0 offense. And then he ended his portion of 7 shots. Rodgers did vintage Aaron Rodgers, altering his arm angle, throwing around a defensive lineman's hand, and hitting Roman Wilson, who made a nice sliding catch to make it 3-0 offense. More on Roman Wilson here coming up in a couple of minutes. After that, Mason Rudolph came in. Caleb Johnson, he got a handoff, went into the end zone for a touchdown. Rudolph then tried to feed the ball to tight end J.J. Galbraith, who's having a decent training camp thus far, but Chuck Clark got the excellent tackle at the goal line there to keep the tight end out of the end zone. Will Howard then came in. Will Howard hitting Brandon Johnson open on a slant for the touchdown, 5-1 offense. And then to end 7 shots today, Howard, a handoff to running back Evan Hall. He gets met at the line of scrimmage by Jack Sawyer. Sawyer absolutely obliterated him and got a forced fumble to boot. So offense, great job in 7 shots today. They win it 5-2. Excellent stuff from Aaron Rodgers. Caleb Johnson got into the end zone. Will Howard and Jack Sawyer, the 2 national champions, making their marks. Love seeing that from 7 shots here today. Moving into some other team portions of practice here today, the defense and the defensive backs did some push-ups after 7 shots, and they did some more push-ups after one-on-one drills today. Wide receivers versus the defensive backs out there today. The wide receivers, they had their way for the most part with the DBs, except for one DB, really, if I had to say so. Defensive back Daryl Porter Jr., who the team signed last night, and they released tight end Kevin Folsch out there today wearing Minkah Fitzpatrick, number 39. So it seems to be no grace period for that number. Daryl Porter out there wearing 39 must have played a little bit like vintage Minkah, had 2 PBUs in one-on-ones. Other than that, wide receivers did a good job in one-on-one today's without Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter Jr., and I don't even know if Darius Slay practiced today. I am going to say no. Did not see his name too much. Into some before 11 on 11, some one-on-one offensive and defensive line drills today. Saw some one-on-ones, also saw some 2-on-1s. Winners of the day, Derek Harmon, he had a strong showing, continues to show that first-round pedigree, and continues to show why Mike Tomlin and Terrell Austin, Carl Dunbar, they're not going to give Derek Harmon the rookie treatment saying, hey, you're going to be the 2nd or 3rd guy on the depth chart and you'll work your way up into the starting role. No, Harmon, immediate starter. He's showing why it has been an absolute animal out there in training camp. Same thing goes for another rookie, Y.A. Black. Had a good one-on-one drill against Mason McCormick, and then went up against Isaac Seumalo, but Seumalo got the better of him there. I'm going to give Black the benefit of the doubt going up against a seasoned vet like Seumalo. Troy Fautanu, again, he continues to impress, especially going up against TJ Watt, too. They had some back and forth encounters in these one-on-one drills. Fa'alotonu's got the best of Watt sometimes. Watt over Fa'alotonu the other, but for pretty much a rookie, honestly, played in one game and then missed the rest of the season, going up against a defensive player of the year caliber player, one of the best pass rushers in the game, and you're holding your own, a fair amount of the time. Much respect to Troy Fa'alotonu. Big things expected from him moving forward. We then got into some 11-on-11, and Aaron Rodgers again did quite well. Jaylen Warren had a 3-yard run. A pitch to Caleb Johnson went for 10 yards. Johnson then again with a 12-yard scamper. The offensive line today, by the way, they must have heard a lot or gotten an earful from, Tomlin, Arthur Smith, offensive line coach, Pat Meyer, because they were making holes today. They did a great job in the run period. Caleb Johnson and Jaylen Warren, they had good days because of that. Spencer Anderson, by the way, in one of the last team drills of the day, in place of Broderick Jones, filled in at left tackle. So I think Jones still, I'm not going to say he left with injury. I think he's still, taking it quite light, trying to manage that groin injury as minor as it may be. The offense, during the 11-on-11 team period, they did see some different stuff from the defense. We've talked about on here the offense coming out with interesting personnel, including a 4 tight end package. The defense, they responded with some interesting personnel deployment of their own today. At some point, they had 4 down interior defensive linemen on the field. I assume you're probably looking at a package of Cam Hayward, Y.A. Black, Daniel Ukale, and Derek Harmon there. And other times they've had 3 outside linebackers out there. Talking TJ Watt, Highsmith, or not Highsmith, he didn't practice today. You're probably looking at TJ Watt, Jack Sawyer, Nick Herbig, Highsmith when he's healthy. And so love seeing that the offense isn't the only unit showing some interesting personnel deployment. We've seen bits and pieces of it from the defense so far this training camp. Jalen Ramsey's bounced around a little bit. TJ Watt, Highsmith did a little bit of it before he went down. Now we're starting to get into different packages that, an offense will go out there and see that and go, all right, what the hell is going to be this? So thought that was an interesting note. Some more 11-on-11 stuff from Aaron Rodgers. He found a connection often today with Roman Wilson. Said we were going to talk about him. It was the Roman Wilson show here today. Rodgers hit Wilson one time on a quick out for 10 yards. He then hit Roman again over the middle, 30-yard reception. Rodgers, kept going back to Wilson a lot here today. Jaylen Warren on a screen pass, 10 yards there. Love seeing that the offensive lineman is getting out into space and moving. Pat Freiermuth had a 8-yard reception against Beanie Bishop, which, the pit guy in me wants to say one thing about Beanie Bishop, but in all fairness, I do not see him. I see him having a tough path to making this team after, kind of having a decent last year. I mean, gave up a couple of plays, but also made some splash with some interceptions. Wonder how Beanie Bishop is going to fit in on this team. Really, you saw the thing that I had popped up on the screen there. Really was one of the better days we've seen this training camp from the first team offense. Rodgers looked good. Caleb Johnson and Jaylen Warren, they had some good runs. The offensive line had a nice gelling day. Roman Wilson, it was his day to shine. Really, the only two down down plays for the offense today. One wasn't really anyone's fault except for one guy. Well, honestly, 2 interceptions is what I'm talking about. There really wasn't anything Aaron Rodgers could do. Rodgers tried hitting Connor Hayward on one play near the middle of the field. Hayward wasn't ready for it, hit him right off the face mask, popped up in the air, was picked off by Patrick Queen. Also, Patrick Queen, he must have something against Aaron Rodgers. Keeps on picking him off, at least once every other or every third practice at this point. Hopefully that's a sign of good things to come for Patrick Queen this year. The other thing that was, really one of the few down plays for the first team offense today. They ran 2-minute drill to end practice here today. Rodgers and the offense, they were marching down the field, hitting Freiermuth, hitting Warren, and then was looking back for Roman Wilson, his bread and butter in practice here today. Brandon Echols with the pass breakup, tip ball drill. Juan Thornhill gets the pick. I think there was some speculation out there that Brandon Echols play could have possibly been a pass interference, but besides, the 2-minute drill ending like that in that one, pass to Connor Hayward that hit him off the face mask, excellent day for the offense. However, it did come at a price. Out there, Will Howard did his bit in 7 shots, did a couple other team drills. He left practice early today. Will Howard did, missed 2 team periods, and went back to the locker room on a cart, not on the back. He didn't, go down with some massive injury that, all the attention at St. Vincent College went to. Sat on the front of the cart with the trainer, went back to the locker room. Also, another offensive player going down. This one, pretty kind of bigger than Will Howard. Jonnu Smith did not finish practice today. He walked off the field, got in a minivan I saw, and he went back to the locker room. Mike Tomlin, after practice, saying Will Howard has an injured right throwing hand that is being evaluated. Said that it came, I think, on a quarterback center exchange. So maybe stove the finger. That's what I'm going to take it. Steelers insider for the Pat McAfee show, Mark Caboli, said that he doesn't expect it to be a big deal. We'll see. First preseason game coming up Saturday. You like to think that you will see a ton of Will Howard in that game. Hopefully that injury does not affect him. As for Jonnu Smith, Tomlin said it was just dealing with a little bit of knee soreness. Appears to be less significant. So I would expect him maybe to take an off day tomorrow and be back at practice after that. Or, maybe he gets on the field tomorrow and then takes a day off before the team goes on their flight down to Jacksonville. We will see. But that did it for Steelers training camp practice here today. Afterwards, as if they didn't have a good enough day and they wanted to, they didn't get enough throws and catches in. Aaron Rodgers stayed out there after practice. He was thrown to DK Metcalf, also Roman Wilson, back on the jugs machine after practice. Love that work ethic from the guys. Great day for the offense. Sucks that Will Howard and Jonnu Smith went down, but hopefully they'll be back out there in no time, and we can see them, and hopefully a bunch of more of these players we're getting excited about in training camp coming up here Saturday night against the Jags. Before I continue on here, let's go to the comments section real quick. Freight Train, welcome back. Freight Train, that's all right. Bet you are live right now. Saw that comment a couple of minutes ago. Also, 12 of you in here right now. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate it tuning in. If you are new here, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I'm live again. Also, leave a like, share this live stream, leave a comment in the comments section. What are you excited about that you've seen so far here in training camp? Back to the comment section real quick. Breezy in here. Will Howard injured his throwing hand today. Yeah, I think I saw Mark Caboli said injured finger. So my guess, center quarterback exchange. Maybe had his hand angled a weird way or wasn't expecting it. Stoved his finger. Hopefully not a broken finger, but we'll see if he gets out there tomorrow. I just hope that, he'll be good to go by Saturday. I think it's fair to say, me and all 11 of you in here right now, what we're most excited to see here coming up on Saturday is a damn good look and a long one of Will Howard. Probably you're looking at Howard playing the whole second half. Maybe he sneaks into the first half a little bit. But yeah, hopefully his injury, he can get back out there. His throws, it won't affect his throwing at all. And we can see a national champion quarterback playing here come Saturday night. Hope to see him play Saturday. Hope he can be the future QB. I agree, Breezy. I'm hoping that too. If there was ever a guy that you can handpick to be a guy, Howard, fantastic teammate, person. It has a winning pedigree going to his time at Kansas State, winning a national championship at Ohio State. We've heard John Gruden, former NFL coach, compare him to Josh Allen. Yeah, Breezy, exactly. He's got moxie. Yeah, he's got what's it? Aura. He's got moxie. He's got charisma. Let's just hope that we can get a good look at him in the preseason here. If he misses the first preseason game, I think that hampers the probability that he will see playing time maybe at some point in the regular season, depending on how injuries go. We will see. Ray want to see Howard. Hope it's nothing that will keep him out. Yep, agreed there, Freight Train. As a matter of fact, we are going to talk a little bit about Will Howard some more here right now, because the Steelers today, they dropped their first depth chart of the season. Every NFL team, I believe, up to this point has gotten or has dropped a depth chart of some form before their first preseason game. And here, ladies and gentlemen, a look at the Steelers depth chart right now. So you look here, this came out this morning. Here's the offense. Not too many surprises. We'll go, sort of position by position here, starting with the quarterback. We'll work our way through the playmakers first. No surprises whatsoever. Aaron Rodgers, Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, Skylar Thompson. Interested to see if we do see Aaron Rodgers on Saturday night. I don't know. If I had to guess how the Steelers would do things, I think you would see Rodgers in the lone home preseason game, and that would be it for the, before week 1 against the Jets. Mason Rudolph, back up. I think if Rodgers goes down and the Steelers are still in it, you'll see Rudolph come in place of Rodgers. I honestly, kind of like Rodgers. Call me crazy, I think I would like to see more of Aaron Rodgers than Mason Rudolph in the preseason. I know 41-year-old quarterback, you want to be careful with him. You don't want to, overplay him in the preseason, risk injury. But Mason Rudolph, we've seen him work with a handful of the pass catchers here on this team, and we've seen him, play in preseasons a bunch in his career. So there's nothing too new that we are going to see from him. Rodgers, however, I want to see that chemistry that he's slowly built up with Metcalf and Wilson and Jonnu Smith and Pat Freiermuth. I want to see it in as real game action as you can get before week 1. Will Howard, though, assuming that he's going to be good to go, I think you will see him a ton here if he will be good to go with that finger. Skylar Thompson, no clue how much you're going to see of him. On to the running backs here. Again, no surprise here. Jaylen Warren, veteran on this team, been here longer than he's pretty much the only guy here that has been on the team. So, longest tenured running back on the squad. He's going to get the start. Kenneth Gainwell as the second string running back right now. That does not shock me either. A guy who's been in the league. Also, I think is better pass catcher, better pass blocker or pass protector even at this point than Caleb Johnson. And then Caleb Johnson as the third stringer. I think you're going to see a lot of him in the preseason, and I think we will see him break off a couple of big runs. But this right now, Mike Tomlin doing his typical thing. Hey, running backs have to, or rookies have to earn their spot. So no shock there. Following Johnson, Trey Sermon, Evan Hall, Lou Nichols. Those will be guys that you see, second half of ball games. On to the wide receivers. This is where we get our first interesting alignment. So you see here, bottom of the screen, Calvin Austin and DK Metcalf. They are here. Hang on. Let me real quick remove that. There you go. Think you guys can see that better now. I'll take off the banner there. This is where we get our first shock. So DK Metcalf, WR1, no surprise there. Calvin Austin, even though he hasn't practiced, WR2. Wide receivers 3 and 4, and I don't know, how you would decipher who's 3 and who's 4 here. Robert Woods, veteran in the league, and Scotty Miller wasn't going to expect Scotty Miller to be, WR4 on the depth chart, but hey, you're going with two guys who have been in the league for a good bit now. Robert Woods, I think the oldest wide receiver in the room, and Scotty Miller, Super Bowl champion with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That then knocks Roman Wilson all the way down to WR5. We talked last year about, Wilson only appearing in one game, and he had like 5 snaps. He then missed the rest of the season, couldn't get on the moving train, as Mike Tomlin likes to say. We can question what's going on here. Is Roman Wilson again struggling, picking up the offense? Is he not flashing as much as the team would like to see in training camp aside from today? Is this, are they treating him like a rookie again, putting veterans over top of him? I don't know, but Roman Wilson down there at least WR5 right now. A little surprising to me, though. I do expect him to, get a jump up here, up the depth chart before too long. Out there with Aaron Rodgers. I think this was, maybe Mike Tomlin as well, just saying, hey, Rome, look, you're WR5. You're a WR5 right now. You better light a fire under your ass and get moving here in training camp if you want to see the field when real games begin. So if that was the case, it certainly worked today. Rest of the wide receiver depth chart here, Ben Skoranek as WR6 right now. I think he's going to make the team, even though he's way down here on the depth chart. Key special teams guy, can come in for a play or two a game. Made splash plays on special teams last year as a gunner. So, Skoranek going to make the team, I believe. Following those guys, Brandon Johnson, Keyshawn Williams, Rock Taylor. Want to see a ton of him, kind of like Will Howard in the preseason here. He's flashed in training camp. He's kind of like, who was it last year? Who was the wide receiver who played in the XFL? Bigger wide receiver too. I forget. Anyway, Rock Taylor, he's the camp. The undrafted free agent wide receiver, Camp Darling. Maybe he puts out good tape on the field. It'll be hard for him to make the team, but I would like to see him try. Onto the tight end position here. The Steelers have 2 tight ends listed as starters here. You see Pat Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith lined up on top of each other here. That is an or designation. Freiermuth or Jonnu Smith as a starter. The other starter here, Darnell Washington. They must have seen a lot of him here in training camp thus far, and I talked about it to kick off the show. Still a massive human being, still will clear out bodies like a Mack truck in the running game, but also, and you've seen it and heard it from Aaron Rodgers, going to be involved a little bit more in the passing game. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. Really, all three of these guys listed as starters. No shock there. Behind those guys, Connor Hayward, JJ Galbraith, two guys that are going to have a tough time making this team, especially for Connor Hayward. I think the nepotism, not the nepotism, but the him making the team because of his namesake there and his brother being the de facto captain of the entire team. I think that's worn off Connor Hayward. He's going to need to absolutely ball out in these preseason games and on special teams to make the team. And then JJ Galbraith, again, kind of like a camp darling, has flashed in training camp, has had a solid connection with Will Howard. We'll see if that connection shows here in Jacksonville on Saturday. Last bits and pieces of the depth chart here for the offensive side of the ball. No surprise on the starters. Jones, Sayamalu, Frazier, McCormick, and Fa'utanu, the starting offensive line from left to right. Still have Calvin Anderson here, even though he's dealing with injury, as the backup left tackle to Broderick Jones. Dylan Cook, who I think, just like Calvin Anderson, they, I think, are capable of bouncing to either side of the offensive line. Max Sharping, backup right guard. Ryan McCullum, backup center. Spencer Anderson, backup left guard. Anderson, he can bounce around all three of these interior positions all right. And then these guys back here, your Doug Nesters, Nick Brokers, Stephen Jones. These are, guys you'll see second half of the preseason games, trying to, make a couple of good plays, get the attention of some other teams, maybe make a practice squad here and there. On to the defensive side of the ball. Going to start here with the big boys up front. No surprise on the starters here. Cam Hayward, Keanu Benton, Derek Harmon, the starting three down defensive linemen. Hopefully a big year for Keanu Benton. I think he is going to be a key player into how this year goes for the defense. You still got steady Eddie, aging like fine wine, Cam Hayward on one side of you. Derek Harmon, who is pretty much Cam Hayward Jr., has flashed time and time again in training camp and looks like he's going to be a guy on the other side. Keanu Benton, we're still waiting for him to have that, breakout in the NFL 3 years into his career now. He doesn't have Montrevious Adams, fighting with him for, nose tackle reps. It's pretty much on him, and he's got to have a big year. Behind those guys, Logan Lee, behind Derek Harmon, Iowa product, 7th round pick from 2 years ago. Didn't play last year with injury. Daniel Ekuale from the Patriots, I think, is where they picked him up. Heard his name a good bit in training camp. I think he's going to make the team probably as your main backup nose tackle with Benton. Isaiah Loudermilk behind Cam Hayward here, though Loudermilk, his roster spot not solidified by any means because he's got these guys right here coming up behind him, looking to push him out. Ezezio Tememwo is going to be competing with Loudermilk. One guy I think you can stamp with certainty, just like some of these guys up here, that's going to make this team. Y.A. Black, 5th round pick out of Iowa. Been a massive, literal massive impact in training camp. Run stuffer, batting down passes, still developing some pass rush moves. But yeah, he'll make the team. Excited to see him here in these preseason games. And then you got some other guys back here looking to, play for, training or not training camp, practice squad spots. Would like to see Braden Fajoko out there. Just got brought back off the couch. Said he was thinking about retirement, and he's got to tack on a couple of pounds to get back to defensive tackle shape. So excited to see what he has in the tank here coming up in these preseason games. On to the linebackers here. We'll start with the off-ball linebackers. Your starters, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig behind Highsmith. No surprises there. One surprise, though, a small one, but one that I think we know which way it's going to go here in the future. Jack Sawyer and DeMarvin Leal stacked on top of each other here. Leal, former defensive end, transitioned to off-ball linebacker. He not getting the full, I'm the veteran, so I'm over the rookie treatment over Jack Sawyer. He's going to be fighting for his football livelihood, with Jack Sawyer and some other guys here, reserves looking to make the team as special teamers. So I don't know if this is a testament to how good Jack Sawyer has been or to how much DeMarvin Leal has to prove, but those two, being mentioned as second team backups to TJ Watt, we'll see how that plays out. Jack Sawyer, I'm excited as all hell to see, especially after lighting up Evan Hall in training camp practice here today. Behind those guys, Julius Welshoff, Iku Leota, two guys who seemingly are with the team every single training camp, and then we'll get stuck on the practice squad. Inside linebacker, your starters, Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson. Hopefully massive year for that duo as individuals. Queen, second year in a defense, main guy calling the plays. Has had a good training camp, has got his hands on a couple of footballs already. Peyton Wilson referred to himself earlier in training camp as one of the best coverage linebackers in the league. Hopefully he flashes some of that Buck-Kiss Award-winning skill that he had in college. Behind those two, Cole Holcomb and Malik Harrison, your two backup inside linebackers. No surprise there. I wonder if Cole Holcomb is competing with Wilson in any way for, starter inside linebacker reps. Because Holcomb, you remember, for the injury, Steelers paid him some starter money to come over from Washington. And then he, of course, suffers the injury. But I wonder if you see these three especially as, rotating trio at middle linebacker. Malik Harrison, he can play a couple of snaps a game at inside linebacker, will be a main special teams guy. Behind those guys, Devin Harper here, training camp body. Mark Robinson and Carson Bruner here. This kind of going to be an underrated battle between these two in this preseason game. Mark Robinson, we've talked about him before, been on the team a while, mainly as a special teams guy, is a heat-seeking missile with a broken guidance chip. And then Carson Bruner, 7th-round pick out of Washington in this year's draft, son of former Steeler Mark Bruner. I think these two, this is Mike Tomlin's saying, 2 dogs, 1 bone, who's going to get it? You'll see these guys out on special teams duties here in the preseason games, and whoever flashes the most to Danny Smith is going to make the team, I believe. And then on to wrapping up the defense here, on to the secondary here. No surprise in the starters here. Of course, your three top corners are starters. Jalen Ramsey as the starting nickel back, but don't get it twisted. He will be a starter over Joey Porter Jr. and Darius Slay if he has to play outside. Porter and Slay as the starting left and right outside corners. Juan Thornhill, Deshaun Elliott as the starting safeties. Behind, I guess you would say Joey Porter Jr. as the top outside corner right now. Probably your 4th best corner overall. And for, because he's earned this spot, Brandon Eccles has really shined in training camp. Had a under-the-radar, sneaky good training camp. Also got PBU in practice today that resulted in an INT. Also has some inside, outside capabilities, can bounce into the slot, can go outside to cover wide receivers. He'll make the team. Corey Trice, still dealing with injuries, unfortunately, seems to be a common theme in his career. He is the 2nd backup outside corner behind Darius Slay. Other backups here, Daryl Porter, who just joined the team, Kyler McMichael, Cameron McCutcheon, these guys, camp bodies looking to make the practice squad when it's all said and done. James Pierre here. I always want to count out James Pierre down here as a guy to make this team, but damn, he's been on fire, at least in recent days at training camp. Had like 3 interceptions in 2 practices last week. And, also core special teams guy. I think you can put a high likability that he'll make the team. Backups here at nickelback with Jalen Ramsey. Beanie Bishop talked about him. Hard to find a spot for him on this team, depending on how many defensive backs they will end up keeping on roster. Dante Kent, speedy 7th round pick out of Central Michigan. He'll look to be competing for a spot on the team on special teams as both a gunner, I would think, and as a returner. And then Deshaun Jameson here, who will be kind of like these guys, camp bodies to play for maybe spots on other teams or the practice squad. Backup safeties here. Still looking at this foursome right here, backing up Deshaun Elliott and Juan Thornhill. Even though they added Chuck Clark here, which I think he's had he's done a good job, has had a good showing since joining the squad midway through training camp. Man, you still need another safety, in my opinion. I think they might wait to see who gets cut from what teams. I saw a safety, Quadre Diggs, got scooped up off the market today. Justin Simmons, excuse me. He's still available. But yeah, Chuck Clark as your backup safety can play either of these 2 spots. Okay, is it something you want to rely on long term? No. Miles Killebrew, he'll make the team. Special teams guy, might play 1 or 2 snaps a game. And then you got Quindell Johnson here, made 1 or 2 splash plays so far in training camp, and Sebastian Castro, same thing for him. I actually have some delusional high hopes for him just from watching him play at Iowa, that he'll turn it on and will be an absolute demon out there in the preseason games, but we'll see. Some special teams depth chart alignments here. Really the only true competition for a starting role in this training camp right here at punter. Corliss Waitman and Cameron Johnston. I thought, Johnston, the Steelers paid him a solid chunk of change to be the punter last year. He gets hurt. Waitman comes in and does a good job. Johnson, because you're paying him a bunch of money, thought he would have been, an easy slide back into that punter role. But from everything that Danny Smith is saying and a couple others on the team, this is a legit competition. Waitman and Johnson, judging by, Johnston's track record and how Waitman did last year, I don't think you can go wrong with either guy that wins this battle. I said it back when we were recapping what happened in training camp today. They both were going tit for tat, booming balls. So we'll see who wins that battle there. Some other things here. Boswell, of course, your starting kicker. Ben Sauls as the backup here. I don't think you need to see much Chris Boswell at all here in training camp. Putting on my Pitt Panther glasses here. Ben Sauls, I think, was the best kicker in college football last year. I'm still kind of shocked that he's on the Steelers team right now. But yeah, we'll see how he shows here in these preseason games. Maybe get scooped up by another team. Hopefully not in the division or the AFC, but I'm rooting for him. Christian Kuntz, your long snapper. They have this guy here, Tucker Addington, who I didn't know was, was in training camp up until this point, but Kuntz is going to win that battle. Your holders for field goal kicks. these two guys both going to get work, both know how to do it, nothing there. Your kick returners, Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren. No surprise, Kenny G is the kick returner here. Did a lot of that in Philly last year and is a damn good one. Jalen Warren, he also was a kick returner last year for the Steelers. Only made a handful of returns. Didn't really, flash or impress me there. And as a starting running back now, I wonder, we've heard in training camp other guys have been getting reps at kick returner. Caleb Johnson, I think Dante Kent, even I think for a joke one time Darnell Washington was returning kicks. But we'll see how that holds up throughout the preseason. I wonder if Warren will get taken off or not. And then punt returner, Calvin Austin, your main returner, gonna be that way and stay that way throughout the year. And then Scotty Miller, his backup, has done some work as a returner back in Tampa Bay. But Austin, the main guy there, no competition whatsoever. And that is the Steelers' first depth chart of the year. Now, obviously, not going to stay that way. You'll see that get tweaked and altered as training camp moves on here. But no, not too many surprises. Roman Wilson a little bit down on the depth chart, but I think we all know he's running with the ones. Jack Sawyer probably going to take the mantle of fourth outside linebacker away from DeMarvin Leal. Y.A. Black down on the depth chart, but he'll move his way up real quick. So that's our first look, and we'll now get to, instead of analyzing and breaking down these guys on paper, we will actually get to see them with pads and a helmet on a NFL field coming up Saturday, and we'll come back and reevaluate those guys then. Before I continue on here, 12 of you in here right now, welcome to the stream. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I'm live again. Also, leave a like and share this live stream. Also, comment in the comment section any thoughts, questions, or opinions that you may have. I can pop those up on the screen just like this at a moment's notice. Also, for the 12 of you in here right now, please be sure to tune back in later tonight for SCSR 60, the new 60-second or less news update video that I do every weekday. Also, go give me a follow on these three, on those three social media platforms right there, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Have gained 2 new subscribers since we have been live. So thank you to those of you who did subscribe. Do not know how to see who subscribed in real time, but if you are still watching, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Gonna keep things moving along right here. One more big segment in today's program before we get into the extra Pittsburgh sports news stories of the day. And we're going to talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates here just for a couple of minutes because yesterday the Bucks in action back at home following the trade deadline and a horrible series against the Colorado Rockies. Johan Oviedo back in the big leagues. Been out of Major League Baseball for about a year and a half with Tommy John surgery. Made his return to a Major League mound last night. And yeah, did not go well. Oviedo, if you did not tune into the ball game, you didn't miss much from him. Just went 1 inning, got hit around by the Giants, 2 hits, gave up 2 earned runs, walked 3 batters, did strike out the side, just unfortunately gave up 3 runs, 43 pitches in the first inning. That is not what you want to see from any starting pitcher, especially from a guy coming off of Tommy John surgery. So I understand manager Don Kelly pulling him after 1 inning. You do not want to overwork him whatsoever in his first start back from TJ. You would have liked him to go more than 1 inning though. After that, Bucks bullpen took over. Johan Ramirez came in. Kyle Nicholas came in. And, the Pirates, they did tie up, or not tie up. They did get one run back in the bottom half of that first inning. Spencer Horwitz singled, then went to second base on an error, and Nick Gonzalez brought him in with a sacrifice fly. Bucks bullpen held things in check for the most part up until the sixth inning. Kyle Nicholas in the ball game to pitch gave up a 2-run, 2-out triple off of Giants center fielder Jung-Hoo Lee. That made it 4-1. The Pirates did not die, though. They did not whimper and sink slowly into the night. Jack Suwinski. Turns out he can still hit a home run at the major league level. Now, he'll hit a home run, but then he'll go a stretch of like 100 at-bats before he gets another. Brought the game back within one again. A 2-run shot in the bottom of the seventh inning, 371 feet over the Clemente wall. Would have been gone in every single ballpark in the majors except for one, that being possibly Coors Field, the Milwaukee Brewers place up there in Wisconsin. Then bottom of the ninth inning, Bucks down a run. The bullpen held steady again. The Pirates, dare I say, they had a little bit of clutchness for once. Joey Bart with a single. Alexander Canario went out to pinch hit for him. Made his way up to second. And then Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, he drew a walk. Got singled in. By Joey Bart. IKF was on base. Joey Bart singled him in. That tied the ball game up at 1. Canario in. Jack Suwinski, he too was on base. Ended up with 2 outs. Runners at third and second. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, IKF, came up. Grounder right back to the pitcher. A little bit to the right of the mound if you're looking from home plate. The throw home. Jack Suwinski just barely getting his... I must have say he got maybe a finger on home plate. The catcher, when he got the ball slid over, kind of blocked the plate with his foot. Suwinski got his hand in there. The Bucks ended up winning in walk-off fashion last night, 5-4. They must own the Giants. That is now 4 straight on the San Francisco Giants, going back to their sweep of the G-Men in San Fran last week. And if it feels like it was the first time in forever that you saw the Pirates actually have a little bit of clutchness and, have a walk-off win, you would be correct, because prior to last night's game, they were 0-55 when trailing after 8 innings. 0 for their last 55 when trailing heading into the 9th inning. Since last night, the Pirates, by the way, now winners of 8 of their last 11. They showed some semblance of competence there in Colorado. They would be better than 8 for their last 11. 10 winners of 10 of their last 13 games overall. Manager Don Kelly nearing back to a 500 record as Pirates general manager, 37-38. So good stuff there from the Bucks. Also, congratulations, Dauri Moreta, big bank, back in the big leagues. I believe this was his second appearance since making his respective return to the majors following Tommy John surgery. He got the win, credited with the win last night. So good stuff there. Pirates again are in action. First pitch here in 5 minutes against the San Francisco Giants. Mike Burrows on the mound tonight for the Bucks. The lineup for the Pirates here this evening. Going to pop it up on screen here real quick if it'll let me. Yes, here it is right here. Spencer Horwitz, Tommy Pham, Brian Reynolds, O'Neal Cruz, Nick Gonzalez, Jack Suwinski, Henry Davis, Jared Triolo, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is your lineup here tonight. All I'm going to say is woof. That area right there, 6 through 8. Sawinski, Davis, and Triolo. Not getting too much offensive production from that spot in the lineup, aside from what Sawinski did last night. But we'll see if they continue to have the Giants' number. It's inexplicable. Kind of par for the course this season for the Pirates. We are left more and more confused every passing day with this team. Off the field, they're complete and total dumpster fire, making questionable decision after questionable decision. The trade deadline I'm citing as the main example there. And on the field, doesn't matter if it's the Giants. Well, the Giants, they were kind of sellers at the deadline. But still, I consider the Giants a good baseball team. The Detroit Tigers, going back, who was it? The New York Mets and the St. Louis Cardinals about a month ago. This team, they'll beat the good teams, and then they'll play the Colorado Rockies of the world and completely forget how to play baseball or manage a lead. So I'm done trying to understand what the Pirates are doing. The Bucks, by the way, they did make one roster move this morning, and this was kind of expected following his outing last night. Johan Oviedo, he enjoyed his cup of coffee back in the big leagues after that 1-inning 43-pitch debacle last night. He got sent back down to AAA. The Bucks, in his place, called up Cam Sanders, a 28-year-old right-handed reliever. Do not know much about this guy. A 1.91 ERA in AA and AAA this year. We'll see. This is a first-time call-up for him. We'll see if he makes his big league debut at some point tonight following a taxing game for the bullpen last night. Also, one other thing on the Pirates before I move on here. Pre-game, this was a couple hours ago. Shout out Danny D'Amelio, who covers the Pirates for Pittsburgh Baseball Now. We've seen Spencer Horwitz leading off again tonight. Really the only hardcore true first baseman on this ball club. We've seen Liover Peguero, who's more of a middle infielder, slide over there for a game or two and play first base. Could be seeing some different guys playing first base. Apparently, Alexander Canario was working at first base during batting practice, getting some reps there. Would be kind of good for him and, his chances of making this lineup. His starts have been far and few but in between. And also, a move we have been begging for here for a while. Joey Bart also getting reps at first base. You have to see what you have in Henry Davis. Also, when Endy Rodriguez is healthy, he's a catcher you want in there behind the plate. I think Joey Bart, out of those three, probably the lesser of the trio when it comes to defense as a catcher. Still, though, when he's on, he's on. You want to keep his bat consistently in the lineup. Put him at first base. Let him platoon there with Spencer Horwitz. I agree with that thought 100%. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first pitch about to begin in that ball game here. Mike Burrows against Logan Webb for the San Francisco Giants. Before that game begins and we get too deep into that ball game, we are going to quickly run through some extra Pittsburgh sports news stories here for the day. Just going to stay with the Pirates here just for 1 second here. There's not too many extra news stories in general. Today, this morning, Pirates bestowing an award upon one of their outfielders. Tommy Pham named the 2025 Heart and Hustle Award winner for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Good for him. Happy for him. Had a very, very, very rough start to the year. Was, along with Derek Shelton and Ben Cherington, kind of public enemy number one. Was absolutely horrendous with the bat. Fans wanted him out of here. If you were to take any Pirate fan off the street and tell them, hey, your general manager for the next 24 hours, what is your first move going to be? It would have been designate Tommy Pham for assignment. Since then, got his eyes fixed up. We've been through that whole story. Has been mashing the ball for like a solid month now. including, even when he makes outs, he's been hitting the ball hard. And yeah, I think he deserves the Heart and Hustle Award. Good for him. We talked about Johan Oviedo getting sent back down. Maybe the Pirates, they can bring back another former pitcher of theirs who has been through Tommy John surgery before. Former Bucco JT Brubaker, today designated for assignment by the New York Yankees, has a 3.38 ERA in 12 games this season. Now, I say that as a joke. No way that the Pirates bring back Brubaker, though. Back when the Bucks were, hardcore middle of the rebuild, he was probably my favorite Pirate pitcher, aside from Mitch Keller back then. Moving into some extra football news here. Excuse me, real quick before we get into the one extra football news story of the day. One extra Pirates roster move today, this time down in the minor league system. Infielder Michael Escato and catcher Abraham Gutierrez were released today by the ball club. Escato, especially, he headlines these releases because he was one of the trade pieces brought back in return in the trade that sent Jameson Taillon to the New York Yankees. So, yeah, another one of Ben Cherington's prospect trade acquisitions, especially from the Yankees. We said this on trade deadline day or the day after, that the Pirates had brought back 10 prospects from the Yankees organization, and they've all sucked. Throw him on the pile. My God, Ben Cherington is so damn terrible. Now moving on to the one extra football story of the day, and it doesn't even have to relate to the Pittsburgh Steelers yet. We're going to laugh at the Cleveland Browns some more. Always warms your heart up here, on any day, really. The Browns adding to their quarterback carousel, and that very interesting and crappy QB competition they got going down there. They signed former Ravens backup quarterback Tyler Snoop Huntley last night, as a matter of fact. So he now joins Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, who's dealing with an injury, Shedeur Sanders, who I found out was dealing with a sore shoulder injury, and Dylan Gabriel, who is dealing with a hamstring injury. So quarterbacks dropping like flies up there in Cleveland. Who else would you expect that to happen to other than Cleveland? So we'll monitor that situation throughout the preseason, just because it's hilarious, and also because, definitively, Steelers, looking at your divisional games, you're going to see Lamar Jackson for 2 games, more than likely. You're going to see Joe Burrow for 2 games. Who are you going to see from Cleveland? Nobody has a clue, not even them. So, yeah, just thought that was worth mentioning. Snoop Huntley now back with the Cleveland Browns. Wasn't he there before? Not sure. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, going to take one last stroll here through Twitter tonight, see if we have any new bits of information to look at before we log off for the evening. Seeing a video earlier today of Will Howard at training camp. This was before the injury, moving around quite well. Also, I saw some post out there today. Dove Cliveman, however the hell you pronounce his last name, on Twitter. No idea if you guys know who he is. Pretty much just an engagement farming account, posting a video of Aaron Rodgers, saying, "Oh, look, Aaron Rodgers looks slow. Someone better get him a wheelchair." He's 41 years old. Are you expecting him to be lightning out there? No, you know what, you're going to look for him. Stop, even going back to when he was in his younger days, he wasn't, the most fleet of foot guy. So just stop, looking for clicks. Let's go to the comment section real quick. It's been a hot minute since I've looked there. Flacco, welcome back. Good to see you. Thank you, Flacco. Yeah. I don't even remember where I got this hat, but yeah, one of my favorites. Want to see Rock Taylor ball out in the preseason? Yeah, absolutely. You want to see Rock Taylor, Will Howard, all of these rookies that you saw have tremendous college careers. You want to see them ball out here in the preseason, give a little bit of hope here for the future of this franchise. Even Michael Vick slow down. Yeah, exactly. Are you really expecting, Rodgers to be as mobile as he was when he, came into the league, or was, quarterback back there in Cal? No. Like, yeah, thanks a lot, Captain Obvious. Rodgers looks slower than everyone else doing the drill. No kidding. Looking here, seeing if there's anything else on Twitter before we log off here for tonight. Looks like the ball game here to my right went to commercial, so I'm assuming that was a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Burrows. Speaking of the Pirates, one extra minor roster transaction here today. Chase Shugart has been a decent bullpen arm for the Bucs this year. He is on a rehab assignment right now for left knee inflammation. His rehab assignment has been transferred from Bradenton to the Indianapolis Indians, so you could see a return of Shugart, oh honey, honey, here soon. Another thing here, kind of just national football news, but kind of crazy. Did anybody see the news thing that smelling salts have been banned on NFL sidelines now? I don't know, who all uses smelling salts on the Steelers team. The one video that immediately comes to mind was, I think it was 3 years ago when the Steelers were beating the brakes off the Cleveland Browns or something, and Minkah Fitzpatrick, game already locked up, Steelers definitely going to win. Minkah Fitzpatrick out there with 2 minutes left in the game hitting the smelling salts. That's when you knew, back when Minkah was Minkah, holy hell, that dude is, he's crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to be it for today. Do not see any other stories for the day. So with that, I think that's going to wrap it up. Thank you all for joining me. Once again, I appreciate it. All of you who tuned in, great turnout. I've constantly seen this the viewers live viewer number up here in the corner bounce up and down here in the corner. So I appreciate you all. Do a quick subscriber check before logging off. We are up to 484, so 3 new subscribers on stream here tonight. Once again, do not know how I can see who subscribed in real time, but the 3 of you who did so, appreciate it. Thank you. Means the world to me. And final time, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Like, share, and comment on this live stream after the fact. Give me a follow on the other social media platforms as well, Facebook, Instagram, and X. And tune back in tonight to SCSR60. New video will be out at some point later on this evening. For the final time, thank you all. Appreciate it very, very much. See your comments there, Flacco. Side effects from the smelling salts. Yeah, probably a reason why it got banned. Just, wonder what they're going to figure out next to, give the players a little shot of adrenaline before heading out there on the field. We will see. Thank you all. Have a good rest of your Tuesday night. Let's see how the Bucs pan out here. Brian Reynolds stepping up with 2 outs, and we will be back tomorrow to recap what goes on in this ball game, what goes on at Steelers training camp, and anything else that comes along the way. Have a good rest of your Tuesday night, everyone. See you back here tomorrow, same time around 5:30. Peace.